And we're back talking to Katie Lang at Hamar Hall, which we're going to have a tour of in a few minutes and see.
I'm so excited.
It is. Well, I don't know. It's been closed for a long time. They've spent a lot of money on it, and it's great to have another hall to sing in. Are you excited about tomorrow night?
I'm very excited. I love the Melbourne Symphony, and I love Hamar Hall from what I remember of singing in it. So the combination of that, and plus, I guess the piece de la resistance is that I love Melbourneites. Is it Melbourners?
Melbourneites will do.
Melbourneites.
Yeah, Melburnians.
Melburnians
is a technical term.
Yeah, I love the city of Melbourne.
Now, you for a long time, speaking of places where people live, you're a Los Angeles person. You moved to Portland, Oregon?
I did, yep.
Why?
It's a great, great town. It's a great city. It's an exciting city.
Have you sort of like country? Does it remind you of home Canada or anything?
It's very Canadian, actually. It's probably the most Canadian of American cities.
Probably would be.
Yeah. It's a very, very liberal, very cutting-edge culinary scene, full of artists, very walkable, lots of bikes, just a natural beauty.
Speaking of being very liberal, and I want to drag you into this, I'm sure you expect it. We've got a Prime Minister who's an atheist, who lives in a de facto relationship and is opposed to same-sex marriage. She thinks that marriage is even though she's an atheist, is a God-given institution.
Okay, wait, that doesn't make sense to me.
Doesn't make sense. I mean,
that doesn't make any sense to me.
No.
Sorry. I didn't know that. I didn't know that you had a prime minister who was an atheist that was opposed to gay marriage because it's a God-given right to be married. That doesn't make any sense to me.
This is the institution of marriage, and she actually even has been known to quote the Bible in other areas as well as for the family unit.
Well, that sounds like a politically motivated thing then, which doesn't make any sense to me either. Gay marriage to me is an issue of human rights, and it is a bastion for separation between church and state to me. There's no question. I don't think that one person's religious beliefs should override another's. And I'm surprised. What's the prime minister's name?
Julia Gillard.
Julia?
Julia Gillard.
Julia, come on. Please. That's all I have to say.
You'd think in 2012 it would not be an issue, wouldn't you? When the number of countries and the number of states in the United States and the polls here show, because it's easy to say, well, it's inevitable, but you shouldn't have to wait anymore.
Yeah. Well, like I've said, because Canada's had gay marriage for about 7 years and America still doesn't, and the way I look at it is perhaps the lethargy in terms of accepting gay marriage is a good thing, because by the time that it actually passes, that everyone will have actually made the process, and it will not be an issue anymore.
And think, why are we so silly?
Yeah.
Now, okay, move on from there. There's a personal thing I wanted to ask you about, because I was reading your background, and once in your early days, now this would be back in the mid-'80s, I reckon. Back in your early days, you did like a 7-hour entertainment tribute to a man who had a heart.
Oh, it was longer than 7 hours. It was it was 12 or 18-hour
I want to ask you this, because last year I had a liver transplant, and I'm wondering, you can sing to my liver, but what was that all about?
Well, I was involved in a performance art group that was doing an installation at a local gallery in Edmonton, and Barney Clark was the first plastic heart recipient at the time, and so we made I guess kind of an artistic or social commentary on the concept of having a plastic heart and what that means, in terms of just sort of all the moral and emotional issues based around that concept.
And how it would ruin all song lyrics for all time.
Right. or create a whole bunch of new...
Elvis Presley with his wooden heart was ahead of his time.
Yeah.
Now, I want to go back to Crying, I mentioned earlier, which you sang with Roy Orbison. It's become almost, to many people, your signature song now. I mean, it's just absolute one of your showstoppers always. I've actually interviewed you before. Don't look at me like that. 16 years ago, host of a thing called the Midday Show in Sydney. And we got you, I was interviewing you, and I said, turn to the audience. I don't think you didn't want to sing. I turned to the audience and said, would you like Katie Lang to sing crying, and your people had said you didn't want to do this, and they all, of course, the audience went berserk and said yes they would, and Jeff Harvey was my musical director, and he started quietly playing it. And you're a great sport. You looked at me as if you could kill, and you got up. You did one of the most wonderful versions of. I've still got it at home. Most wonderful versions of crying I've ever heard. And then you walked out without saying another word, and Elvis left the building.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
Oh.
No, you know, crying. It's a big song. It's a big song vocally in terms of the range. It's a big song emotionally, not dissimilar to Hallelujah. So it's something, you know. And people always want me to sing either Crying or Hallelujah, and it. I could phone it in, I guess, but I try not to, and it takes work. It takes a lot.
I understand that now, because it'd be like my saying to you now, and I'm not going to do it, obviously, saying to you, hey, could you just get up and sing a bit for us? Because it is a huge song, and we're lucky that we had Jeff Harvey, who was one of the greatest musical directors this country's ever seen, and you trusted him, which is good, and it was a beautiful rendition. I can see now why you just don't step off the bus and do a song like that.
I mean, I think there are certain people that do that. I'm not one of them. I really like to sort of prepare emotionally and physically for a performance, and I think there are lots of people who can do that, and I'm just not one of them.
All right, do you forgive me?
I do.
Thank you very much. It's an honour to have you on the program.
Thank you.
Katie Lang, thanks for coming by.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Let's go see this hall.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.